Hey everyone, Stitch here. Before we get to the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I really want to share my love and passion for guitar with any musician who wants to keep on learning. On to the video. Alright, welcome back to another episode of StichMethod. Today we're going to talk about how to find any minor pentatonic you want at any place, anytime. And so we're going to do that using the CAGED system of minor pentatonics and minor chords. In case you don't know those two things, like the minor chord shapes or the minor pentatonic box shapes, I have some videos linked below that will help refresh your memory. But let's get down to it. The pentatonic scale is the most used scale in all of rock and jazz and any sort of musical form. And so learning how to find it very quickly and also finding the important or really good chunks that are inside is just as important. And that's what this lesson is about. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you that if you know your 5 minor CAGED chords, then you're going to know which pentatonic box to play and what you're going to do with that scale. So let's just say I need a B minor pentatonic. Well, a lot of people play the form 1 pentatonic right here. And the idea comes from this. A lot of people see this, a lot of people see this as the root note, and that's fair. But let's say we can see the chord in which it's from. Now, the chord shape in which it comes from is the E minor chord shape. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to talk to you about some theory, some intervals. Every minor chord has a 1, a flat 3, and a 5. Every minor pentatonic has a 1, a flat 3, a 4, a 5, and a flat 7. You can see on the screen 3 out of the 5 notes are in the chord. And so if you can look at those 3 notes that are in the chord as a constellation, it's going to help you find those pentatonics really, really quickly. And that's what this lesson is about. And then we'll talk about how to use it. So when I play this E minor shaped chord, okay, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, this goes with the form 1 pentatonic here. But more importantly, I want you to understand something. Just going to finish the scale. The root note of the chord is the root note of your scale. So if this is a B minor chord, and this goes with a form 1, then this is a B minor pentatonic. If this is the same shape, an E minor shape, but it's on the 3rd fret, so this is a G minor chord. If this is a G minor chord, because this is the root note, then you get a G minor pentatonic. So I can easily find an A minor pentatonic, and even though you know this stuff, but I can see the chord there. And more importantly, I can also see the chord tones, the notes that I can focus on as I solo. So let's really get into it. That's what we're going to be doing today. So let's start with the hardest shape there is. I'll have a graphic up soon. The C minor shaped chord. Now the C minor shaped chord looks like this. And the idea is you can see on the graphic that it's a doozy and the root notes are on the A and the B string. And the intervals are 1, flat 3, 1, flat 3, 5, 1. And so here is actually, this is a C minor shaped chord, but my root note is on the E, so this is an E minor chord. Now, if you can't physically play this, that is totally fine. Again, if you cannot play it, because that's a stretch, it is fine. You can pick it up and you can do this as long as you can see the chord, as long as you can see those dots. Now, these dots represent intervals, just like I said, 1, flat 3, 5, and 1. And in the minor pentatonic, you can see those intervals are in it. And so this chord shape, the C minor chord shape, always goes with a form 3 pentatonic, which is this. Now, before I get there, actually, it starts on the fret where your middle finger is, right here in the 5th fret, okay? So it's going to be 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 4, 7, 5, 8, 5, 7. And so what I did here is I have a C minor shaped E minor chord. And this is a C minor shape representing 1s, 3s, and 5s. And when I put the other notes in, I get this form 3 pentatonic. And this is, in fact, an E minor pentatonic. Why is it an E minor pentatonic? Because the shape and the pentatonic go together, and my root note is E. I have an E minor chord, so I get an E minor pentatonic. And so anytime I need a minor pentatonic, form 3, I want to see the C-shaped chord. Let's just do it up here. I'll show you. If I play it up here on the 12th fret, this is an A minor chord. Okay, this is an A minor chord. And so that's my root, A. And now I know the shape goes with the form 3, so if I can see the shape, I can play an A minor chord, and I can play an A minor pentatonic, and they're one in the same. So if I need an A minor pentatonic, I can see my A minor chord in the C shape. And also, it also gives me the notes where I can sit and kind of hang on play this minor pentatonic and kind of hit those important notes. So let's keep going. So remember, C minor shape, form 3, or also known as a C minor pentatonic shape. It's up to you. All right, the next shape. Well, if you know your CAGED chord system, again, watch the videos below. The C shape connects to the A shape, and now we need an A minor shape chord. Now, a lot of you are familiar with this chord shape. It's a 5th string A minor shape chord, and this guy here, the intervals are 1, 5, 1, flat 3, 5, 1, 5, 1, flat 3, and 5. And now, if you look, you can see that this chord shape also goes with what we call a form 4 pentatonic. Now this is an E minor chord because of this root note. So if I play the form 4 pentatonic right on top of it, and I think of my chord root note as the root of what I'm starting, I get an E minor pentatonic. So the C minor shape, goes with the form 3, and the A minor shape goes with the form 4. So if I need a B minor pentatonic, and I'm playing up here in the form 1 like we would, and I want to move, and I want to create some distance, my eyes can see the B minor here, and I can come in, oh sorry, I'm plucking on my pickguard, and then I can come down and see this chord shape and come right into the pentatonic, and also have the juicy notes with it. Let's keep going. Well, if the C minor shape connects to the A minor shape, then the A minor shape connects to the G minor shape. Now this shape is a doozy. There's 2 sides to it, and you can watch it on my video link below, but I'm going to play the thinner side. And this is what we call a G minor shaped chord. This is in fact an E minor chord right here, all right? Root notes on the 12th fret of the high E string and the 12th fret of the G string, even though it's kind of covered up. And you can see in the graphic what it looks like. And so we have this E minor chord, G minor shape. It's a cool shape. I like its voicing a lot. And I'm going to show you, if the C minor shape goes with the form 3, and that connects to the A minor shape, and that goes with the form 4 pentatonic, and this connects to the G minor shape, you guessed it, this is the form 5 pentatonic. And the idea is the notes that you're playing, there we go, these notes here are going to be quintessential notes, but the form 5 pentatonic, you can see in the chart, those notes are in there. So anytime I play this shape chord, I don't even need to come down to its lowest note. I can come off the root note. And I can really play off of the chord root notes. And that brings us to a very important fact. Again, I'm repeating myself, the root note of the chord is the root note of the pentatonic. And so if I have a G minor shaped chord, but it's an E minor chord, then I'm getting an E minor pentatonic. Okay? Now, if the G shape here now is the form 5, then that connects to the E minor shape. And we talked about this at the beginning of the video. This E minor shape goes with the form 1. You can see the chord intervals, 1, 5, 1, flat 3, 5, and 1. 1, 5, 1, flat 3, 5, 1. And that is also in the pentatonic. You can see in the chart. So anytime you play an E minor shaped chord, you get an E minor shaped pentatonic, also known as a form 1. So if I need an F sharp minor chord, I can play this E minor shaped chord, on the F sharp. So this is an F sharp minor chord, and now I get an F sharp minor pentatonic. And we're going to talk about the uses of this in a couple seconds. All right, and so C minor shape, goes with the form 3. The A minor shape goes with form 4. The G minor shape goes with the form 5. And the E minor shape goes with the form 1. Now, I could play the D minor shape all up here, but I'm going to bring it down an octave lower just to show you, okay? And so this is the D minor shaped chord. The D minor shaped chord, its root is on the D string. You can see in the chart its intervals, 1, 5, 1, flat 3. And the idea is that this goes with a form 2 pentatonic. You can see in the chart, they overlap a little bit in an odd way, so you want to study this one. And you can play the form 2 pentatonic anytime you're playing or mentally seeing a D minor shaped chord. So, if I need an A minor pentatonic, and I'm soloing here, and I'm getting bored and I want to move music, well, okay, I can see the A minor chord here. Now I know that you can kind of like connect them, but I can see the A minor chord here in D minor shape. I can come in on some chord tones and then pick up the form 2 pentatonic wherever I want. And so seeing it, let's just say I need a G minor, yeah, G minor pentatonic. Well, if I know my D minor shape, G minor is here, I know it's my form 2. I messed up there for a second. And so, C minor shape goes with form 3. A minor shape goes with form 4. G minor shape goes with form 5. E minor shape goes with form 1, and the D minor shape goes with form 2. Now the question is, does this always work like this? And the answer is yes, absolutely. And so I want to show you some things. Say you're playing in just like I said, an E minor jam. Well, you want to be able to see all your E minor chords first, all right? And you want to practice your minor CAGED chord system. I have an E minor here. All right, well that would go with the form 1 pentatonic. I have an E minor here in the D minor shape. This would go with the form 2 pentatonic. I have an E minor here in the C minor shape. This would go with the form 3 pentatonic. I have an E minor here. This would be the form 4 pentatonic. I have an E minor here. This would be the form 5 pentatonic, and back to your form 1 with the E minor shape. And so now you have the chord intervals and you have the pentatonics that go with. So if I'm here playing like just a basic like E minor, and I want to jump, and let's say I see this guy, I can see this E minor, I can come right in the form 4 because it's my A minor shaped E minor chord. I know it's an E minor pentatonic now. And let's say I want to take another jump, and I can see that D minor shaped chord up here. Now I can see the chord tones, I can jump right into it. Oh, really? Really? I was doing so good. And I can jump into the form 2. And so the idea, again, is if you know your CAGED chord shapes and you know the minor pentatonics to go with, you can navigate. Just like when I talk about this to students, I talk about the early Vikings. You know, they used constellations, and these chords are your constellations to jump to, then hop onto your minor pentatonic. So if you're jamming in a minor jam, or you just need a minor pentatonic, think about, okay, well, I need a B minor pentatonic. We're in a B minor jam. Okay, let's find my B chords. Boom, and I can jump around. I have a B minor chord here, a B minor chord here, B minor chord here, a B minor chord here, and you want to practice B minor chord here, and you also want to say, okay, well, that's my form 4, this is my form 1, this is my form 2, this is my form 3, and you realize that if you can navigate with the constellations that are chords, then you're going to be able to jump around better and jam, all right? Another use for this is if you have changing chords and you want to change your pentatonic. If I have a jam that goes from G minor to A minor to B minor, like that. Does it sound good? I don't know, but let's just say we have a jam like that. Now I can find a G minor chord. Okay, I have my A minor shape here. I can play my minor pentatonic, form 4. And now if I can find an A minor chord close by, well, okay, I'll choose this one here. This is my A minor. It's the D minor shape, form 2. To a B minor. Well, there was a B minor here when we started this video, 7th fret, E shaped, E minor shaped, form 1. So whatever chord you're playing, if it's a jam or chord you need to move, well, guess what? I can play my G minor pentatonic here, to my A minor pentatonic, to my B minor, and the idea is you have your pentatonic and you have your chord tones together. So I hope this all made sense, because we're going to go now. So practice this stuff. The way you want to practice, well, you can practice with me on Patreon. My Patreon page, I'll be making videos on how to practice this with all different ideas and jams and chord movements. But you can also practice if you want to by loading up backing tracks and trying to do an A minor backing track and a B minor. But if you want to practice with me, that's what Patreon is for. And before I go, I just want to show you my brand new StichMethod cutting board. I really like it. Thank you, Dolan. You're the man. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.